All right, welcome to our Thursday morning Mother Hustler Zoom. I can't believe it's already Thursday this week. It's flying by, it's crazy. Thanks for hopping on and joining us. Let's go ahead and hop into our birthday messages on Facebook. As you can see here, this is our YouTube channel, and I uploaded all of the Mother Hustler Zooms from this book. That way, if you want to go back and watch them, you can. So hopefully there's a notification here with our birthdays. Yep, 38 minutes ago. All right, there they are. So let's go ahead and start plugging away at these messages. Since we don't have Mother Hustler tomorrow, if you want to go ahead and jump to tomorrow's birthdays, you should be able to see them on the birthday page. I think if you scroll down past today's birthdays, you can see them. So feel free to skip ahead and do tomorrow's. I sometimes scroll through these old messages of what I sent to people. This is some Mary Kay consultant, and I messaged her about Thrive. July of 2016, I asked if I could set her up with a free customer account. And then today I just messaged her happy birthday. Okay, I have track 6 pulled up for the audio. So I know it's track 6 there, and then chapter 5 in the book. Chapter 5 is called Lift the Veil. And it looks like it's right at 30 minutes. So, all right, are you guys ready for chapter 5? It's funny, I wake up and I like think about my capsules and then I think about reading this book next. I get really excited when these days come and we get to keep reading the book. So, yay. All right, here we go.
Chapter 5. Lift the Veil. When I was a child, I was very aware of a world beyond my physical sight. I believed in angels and fairies, and I was highly intuitive. When we're very young, there is no veil between the physical world and the spiritual realm. This is why you'll often hear kids speak of angels or talk to their imaginary friends. They may even talk about past lives or intuitively predict something that they couldn't have possibly known. In this state of innocence, little ones can perceive a world beyond the limitations of the body and see with spiritual sight. As a young child, I trusted in myself and a higher power. Over time, that faith was taken from me as the fears of the world grew louder. I started to feel alone, insecure, and afraid in a world full of fear and limitation. There were many moments that separated me from the love of the universe. Witnessing my parents go through a divorce, being bullied on the playground, and sometimes getting low grades in school were among the experiences of separation that built up my worldview of fear. As we grow into adulthood, the spiritual realm becomes harder to access. We weave a veil between the universal realm of spirit and the physical world we've grown to rely on. We begin to identify with our bodies rather than our spirits. We are taught and often encouraged to make this change by our parents, teachers, and others around us. As we get older, almost everyone and everything we encounter seems to reinforce a world of separation and fear. Each fear-based thought we're exposed to strengthens our belief in the physical world and distances us from the spiritual realm. Thankfully, no matter how far I detoured into the fear of the world, I always knew there was more beyond the physical. That knowledge saved me from feeling adrift and alone. Even in my darkest hour, I believed that with a spiritual connection, anything is possible. As a spiritual student, I've made it my daily devotion to lift the veil of the physical world and remember the light of the spiritual realm. This daily devotion has given me great peace amid the tension and turmoil we all encounter. The practice of choosing to see with spiritual sight has become a habit. I use it to remember that the universe is guiding me, and I restore my thoughts back to love. Without this spiritual connection, I'd get lost in the world of fearful projections. One of the ways I've stayed committed to seeing with spiritual sight has been through writing. Over the past decade, I've written 7 books on spiritual principles. In these works, I go out of my way to translate and demystify spirituality so that it will be easy for anyone to grasp. While I believe this has been greatly helpful, as I write this book, I feel called to push the metaphysical envelope. Every word I write here reminds me of what I know to be true. Channeling the words in these books brings me so much joy because the process lifts the veil between the worldly and spiritual realms. In order for all of us to truly accept that we are super attractors, we must embrace a world beyond plain logic and reason. We must become willing to be unapologetic about what our faith in the universe means to us. I want to guide you to lift the veil between the world of perception and the world of spiritual connection. Beyond the veil of the fear-based world, there are miracles waiting for you. You haven't blocked them, you just haven't been looking for them. Lesson 91 of A Course in Miracles says, miracles are seen in light. The Course teaches, the miracle is always there. Its presence is not caused by your vision. Its absence is not the result of your failure to see. It is only your awareness of miracles that is affected. You will see them in the light. You will not see them in the dark. It's time for you to see with light. As long as we remain convinced that the physical world is our only reality, miracles will remain unseen. We've been encouraged to focus on the physical world of form, which has put us into a habit of denying the light. As a result, we've blinded ourselves. All we perceive is the darkness we've created. From childhood, we've created a worldview based on fear, separation, judgment, and scarcity. It's as though we're living in a nightmare, but all we have to do is turn on the light in order to recognize it's just a bad dream. Our belief in our perception of ourselves, our physical bodies, and all the fears of the world makes it hard to believe in love. We believe we're unsafe, susceptible to disease, attack, and pain. Our faith in the body has kept us living in fear. We believe in stories of illness, trauma, deprivation, and hate. We believe in the story of separateness, thinking we are better than some people and inferior to others. These belief systems occur when we disconnect from the love of the universe. One separate thought leads to the next, and they multiply in our minds. A Course in Miracles suggests that we thought up a tiny mad idea of being separate from the universe, and this began a lifelong separation from love. The tiny mad idea is that we are separate from the love of the universe, or as the Course would say, God. When we took the tiny mad idea seriously and believed it happened, we decided that the love of the universe was not enough. We chose to believe that we could create a love based on a separate world of duality. When we chose the tiny mad idea, we turned our backs on the love of the universe. At this point, the ego convinced us that we were unsafe and therefore responsible for making up a world and thought system that would make us feel good enough. To make matters worse, we feel guilty because we have separated from our truth, which is love. We chose to believe in the identity of the separate self, which makes us believe in a world that is disconnected from love. The moment we took the tiny mad idea of separation seriously, we chose a world of fear over love. The way out of that fear is to lift the veil and see through the lens of spirit. When we do this, we will remember that we are safe, whole, and protected. When we accept that there is a world of love and support beyond our physical realm, we can see ourselves as spirits having a human experience. This spiritual perception can bring us great peace, love, and joy. This is the concept of heaven on earth, when we live in the world but think with the thoughts of heaven. When we perceive a world of separation, we unconsciously feel a sense of guilt for turning our backs on what the Course calls perfect love. Each tiny mad idea of separateness builds up a dream world disconnected from the truthful love of who we are. We become overwhelmed with self-hatred for the separated self that we've become, because on an unconscious level, our belief in separation makes us guilty, defensive, and alone. These beliefs are what make up the veil hiding us from our super-attracted truth and the love of who we are. As the Course explains, the tiny mad ideas of separation aren't the problem. Rather, the problem is the way we respond to them. When we respond to fear-based thoughts with more fear, we perpetuate the separation from love. Each day we choose to lean into tiny mad ideas of separateness with beliefs such as, I don't have enough, everyone is out to get me, I'm better than them, I am unlovable, and so on. From the moment we wake up, we're crafting a dream world of separation and distancing ourselves from our truth. The question then becomes, why don't we all just lift the veil? If on the other side of the veil are light, love, and truth, what are we waiting for? Why has it taken us so long? The answer is that we're terrified of turning on the light. Because who would we be if we weren't a body stuck in the dramas of the world we've created? We've grown to rely on the perceptions we've built up against love, and we use them to protect ourselves from disappointment and pain. If we merely lifted the veil to love and released our worldly perceptions, that pain would dissolve. Even with my faith in the spiritual realm, I am constantly challenged by my perception of my self-image, my body, and the separation from love. 1 month before I began writing this book, I hit a major low point in life. I had been sick for months with an undiagnosed stomach condition. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't eat anything, and I was obsessed with finding solutions. I spent countless hours Googling my symptoms and diagnosing myself, which is a terrible idea that I do not recommend. I was praying and meditating, but my fear was louder than my faith, and I continued to be obsessed with my body. Finally, after months of testing, I got an answer about my condition. At first, this clarity brought me some relief, but almost immediately I began fixating on how I'd heal myself. I knew in my heart that my bodily obsession was perpetuating the problem, so I began to pray for relief. My prayers were answered over lunch with my friend and teacher, Marianne Williamson. Marianne asked me how I was doing, and I launched into a monologue about all the pain and suffering I'd been going through. I told her that I finally had a diagnosis, but I complained that there was a long road to recovery. My energy was frantic, and she could sense my fear. She looked me in the eyes and said, "You're obsessed with body identification." Marianne reminded me that I could identify with the part of me that was going through this struggle, the body, or I could identify with the part of me that wasn't going through it, the spirit. She reminded me that the body heals when we're not looking at it. Marianne's words guided me back to truth and to a lesson from the Course that says, "I am not a body, I am free." This was a tough concept to embrace when my physical symptoms were activated, but I knew that as long as I was identifying with my body, my symptoms couldn't subside. I looked more closely at how this physical condition came about. A series of loveless moments of separation had caused me to feel a lot of stress. That stress directed my focus onto the world, my body, and my false fear-based perception of myself. I forgot my true purpose, which is to be love and extend love. I took Marianne's advice and chose to identify with spirit. Living with spirit identification didn't mean I stopped taking medication or following a healing protocol, but it meant that I stopped insistently focusing on the body, which was keeping me in the dark. I prayed to see myself in the light. I meditated on the vision of lifting the veil and standing in the ever-present light of the universe. Shifting from my body identification to spirit identification gave me faith in my ability to attract good health. I followed daily devoted practices to help me lift the veil and cross the bridge from my perception of the world to a world of light. Each day I continued to remind myself that miracles are seen in light. Each prayer brings me closer to the light. Each meditation redirects my energetic frequency toward the light, and each loving thought clears the path back to the light. I've accepted that the love within me reveals my light. I don't have to clear away the darkness. I just have to choose to see in light. I know you understand the difference between body identification and spirit identification on a soulful level, but on a worldly level, you'll resist it. The Course says, to be told that what you do not see is there sounds like insanity. Your faith lies in the darkness, not the light. I deeply understand this existential struggle between the world of darkness and the spiritual realm of light. I still live with so much emphasis on a world that I don't want to see, a world of attack, hatred, anger, and resentment, a world of struggle, pain, disappointment, and suffering. But I've come to believe that the only way out of the world of darkness is to choose to see the light as often as possible. Seeing the light is a practice, and it requires our willingness to suspend our disbelief. We must get into the habit of seeing with light. The more we tune into the vision of light, the more the perception of darkness begins to fade away. A Course in Miracles even speaks of light episodes. Several years ago, I was sitting on a beach reading the Course. I set the book down in my lap and looked out at the ocean. As I gazed at the place where the water meets the sand, I began to see a bright, rectangular frame of light in the sky. It was as if I were looking at the ocean through this white light frame. I was initially startled, but also comforted by the sight. As it dissipated, I looked back down at my book and saw this passage in the Course. You will begin to understand it when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects which you see now. That is the beginning of real vision. As we go along, you may have many light episodes. I smiled with a sense of knowing that there was indeed a world beyond my physical sight. Since that time, I've had many light episodes. I see bright sparks of light, and I see streaks of light dance through the air like tinsel. Often I see light in my meditations. When I slow down and realign with the universe, the light is revealed as a deep inner feeling. I love these light episodes because they remind me that I am not a body, I am free. These days, I look for the light wherever I go. I can't block it, but I often detour into fear and forget to look for light. The light is always there, and it's my choice to see it. I wish for you to have your own experience of the light episodes. I want you to know the true meaning of living in this world, but thinking with the thoughts of love. I want you to be able to bridge the world of perception and the world of light. And I want you to bring that light back into this world of perception so you can help to expand our limited vision, to brighten the darkness. When we live in light, we remember that we have super attractor power. We know we can connect to a presence of strength, wisdom, and peace beyond the world. Now, don't freak out. I told you this was going to push the metaphysical envelope. Right now, tap into the part of yourself that believes in the light, or even in a desire to believe. This will guide you to begin this journey of undoing the perception of darkness and remembering the light. If you're resisting anything about this chapter, just tune into the part of yourself that believes in love and stay open to a new perspective. We tend to make our spiritual practice very complicated when it's not at all. What's complicated is our resistance to it. Suspend your disbelief, if only for the duration of this chapter, and let me help you remember the light. It's time to lift the veil. Follow my guidance and keep it simple. Don't judge yourself for perceiving darkness. Let's begin by releasing any self-criticism or attack. I've seen so many people judge themselves for how far they've detoured into fear and darkness. Remember, the light never left you. The world of darkness you perceive is merely a series of tiny mad ideas and loveless moments that have disconnected you from the light of who you are. Right now, accept that the darkness and discomfort have been great opportunities to get closer to spirit. Let yourself off the hook for the ways you've bought into the fear of the world. Forgive yourself for all the ways you've chosen to believe in darkness. Forgive your attack thoughts. Forgive your self-judgment. Forgive your wrongdoings. And forgive yourself for fearing the light. Remember what the Course teaches. Miracles are seen in light. The moment you choose to shift your thoughts from fear to love, you will experience a miracle. Choose it now by forgiving your fearful thoughts so that you can return to spirit. Choose to see in the light. Whenever you get hooked into the perceptions of the physical world, ask yourself, do I wish to see this in the dark, or do I wish to see this in the light? If you have the willingness to ask this question, then you have the willingness to choose the light. The moment you ask yourself this question, you invite a spiritual presence beyond your own to guide your thoughts back to love. The question is a prayer for help. It's a reminder that there's a world beyond your physical sight, a world beyond fear, a world beyond limitation, a world that is bright. The vision of light is waiting for you to choose it. Consciously choose to see with light all throughout the day. Make this a habit. Many miracles arise when you make this simple choice. I recently experienced a miraculous shift by choosing to see with light. One afternoon, I received an email from someone concerned about a hateful post about me on someone's Facebook page. A woman had written a long rant about how I was a fraud. You can imagine how devastating this was for me to read. What upset me most was that several people on the page chimed in with comments. People said things like, "Finally, someone is speaking up about how awful Gabby is." Typically, I don't react to hate on the internet. I've prided myself on a practice I call forgive and delete. But this post really triggered me. I spent hours stuck in the darkness of this negativity. I scrolled through other negative posts on this woman's page. I got defensive, and I let myself feel depressed about it. Later that night, while I was still feeling really down about the post, my husband called me out. Zach said, "Are you still obsessing about that?" I said, "Yeah, I can't seem to shake it." He looked at me with great compassion and said, "Stop reading her negative feed and go help the people who want to hear from you. Start with the thousands of direct messages sitting in your Instagram inbox." This was the miracle. I felt so much relief the moment he suggested that I redirect my focus off of the darkness and choose to see the light instead. So I made my husband show me where to find the direct messages on Instagram. I had no idea. I didn't know the light was there because I wasn't looking for it. I then spent the next few days responding to the most beautiful stories, testimonials, and messages from people all throughout the world. People had been sending me notes of gratitude, prayers, and miraculous stories. During those few days responding to posts, helping people recommit to their spiritual path, I felt full of light and purpose. I felt deeply connected to my community and infused with joy. I had disconnected from my perception of my body, physical self, which could be attacked, and I had reconnected to my spirit, which is a force of love in the world. I woke up on the third morning filled with love. Instead of picking up my phone or jumping out of bed, I immediately thought, pray for the people you've been connecting to. I went into deep prayer. I started to send light to my community. I prayed for them to have peace of mind, health, joy, and their own spiritual awakening. I prayed for them to remember the light. I'd never felt more joyful in my life. The hateful comments on Facebook had faded away and held no power. I truly understood that miracles are seen in light. This experience transformed me. Redirecting my focus off the negativity and onto how I could serve others was the catalyst for a great spiritual awakening. I could see clearly in the light and forgive the projections of others. Today, I can say that I'm deeply grateful for the women who were hating me on Facebook. They offered me a divine spiritual assignment and a miracle. I know they can feel my love because I have released them. I love them for showing me that light can cast out all fear. In this experience, I was able to identify my own core value. I came to realize that what I value most about myself is my ability to be a presence of love in the world. When faced with darkness, I was able to access the light by helping other people feel good. I came to see how when we're in a place of resentment or reactivity, or merely defending against the light, the only response to fear is love. I hope my story helps you see how simple it is to lift the veil on the darkness of negative thoughts and reclaim your light. In any moment, you can make this choice. When you feel bullied, choose to focus on how you can make others feel good. When you feel weak, focus on your strength to follow your spiritual path. When you're outraged by the injustices of the world, focus on the practices in this book to realign yourself with your light so you can shift from an energy of separateness and return to love. Where there is darkness, may you bring light. Be proud of your choice to see light. When you stop focusing on the physical self, you can see through the lens of spirit. You'll begin to care less about the issues that arise and care more about how you choose to handle them. Each time you ask yourself, do I wish to see this in the dark or do I wish to see this in the light? You open the door for a miracle. Begin to measure your spiritual maturity not on how easy your life is, but on how easy you are on yourself when things go awry. Celebrate the miracle moments when you shift from body identification to spirit identification. Ride the momentum of the miracles and let the joy of living in the light envelop you. When you have any experience of trading fear for love, you will build up spiritual proof that spiritual sight is what you really want. Meditate in the light. It can be tough to choose the light when we're hooked into worldly drama. That's where meditation comes in. There's a popular misconception that meditation is just for relieving stress or silencing your racing thoughts. It does do that, but it does so much more too. When we meditate, we can transcend the energy of this world and step into a place of love. Meditation becomes a pathway to the light. You surrender your will to the loving presence within and can be gently guided over the bridge from the world of perception to the world of light. Meditation will offer you a reprieve from attachment to fear. This may sound mysterious, but you'll know it when it happens. The more resistance you release on your meditation pillow, the more you'll know the world beyond your physical experience. You can let healing occur, allow creative ideas to surface, and invite a feeling of gratitude to shower over you. I want you to know the immense relief and joy that comes when you meditate in the light. The pathway to alignment with the universe begins with the stillness found in meditation. This is a stillness so deep that you leave the world of perception behind and step into the power of your light. In still meditation, you can suspend your fearful perception of the world, even if it's just for a moment. A moment is enough. A moment of faith can change you forever. Through meditation, you'll establish your own experience of the light beyond the fears of the world. You'll experience the miracle that has been waiting for you. Your connection to this non-physical dimension will enter into every corner of your life. It will help you effortlessly maintain a positive flow of well-being and abundance to attract more of what you want. Meditation for lifting the veil. Follow my meditation for lifting the veil. As soon as you come out of this meditation, open your journal and write about your experience of the light. It's important to document this experience so you don't forget. Meditation for lifting the veil. To listen to the free audio version of this meditation, visit the resources page, gabbybernstein.com/superattractor. Find a comfortable place to sit on the floor or upright in a chair. Gently close your eyes and place your hands on your lap facing upward. Breathe in for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue this cycle of breath and allow yourself to fall gently into a peaceful state. Let your thoughts come and go. Do not judge them. Continue to breathe in for 5 and out for 5. As you breathe, see yourself standing at the edge of a bridge, about to step onto it. The bridge can be low to the ground or high off the ground. Behind you is a shadowy cloud of darkness. You can sense this darkness represents your fear and your bodily perception of the world. As you look ahead over the bridge, you see a bright, glimmering light. This light has an energetic pull drawing you toward it. Take a deep breath in and release as you surrender to the powerful, energetic pull of the light. Let the light draw you toward it as you begin to walk across the bridge from the darkness into the light. Breathe in and out with each step. As you get closer and closer to the end of the bridge, you begin to notice the shadows of the world disappear. You can no longer see them behind you. Take a deep breath and step off the bridge and into the world of light. Now all you see is light. In this light, you are not your body. You are free. You are an energy field of love and light. You are powerful. You are peaceful. You are supported. You are loved. You have no past resistance and no fear of the future. All you have is the light in this moment. Give yourself permission to stand in this light for as long as you want. Continue to breathe long and deep, and let the light restore you back to the truth of who you are. Stand in the light and breathe. When you feel called to come out of your meditation, say a silent prayer to yourself. Miracles are seen in light. I choose to see in light and bring light with me wherever I go. Take a deep breath in and release. When you're ready, open your eyes. Following your meditation, pick up your journal and write freely about your experience of standing in the light. Document the miracle of releasing the world of fear and accepting the world of light. You'll find great value in this practice because it will be a way of reminding yourself of who you truly are. When you've finished your free writing exercise, say your prayer one more time. Miracles are seen in light. I choose to see in light and bring light with me wherever I go. Now go about your day and bring light with you wherever you go. This meditation is enough to help you see with light. You may have an experience of a light episode, or you may feel a sense of love and light come over you in meditation. It doesn't matter whether you see light with your physical eye or you feel it as a presence of healing. You'll experience light in your own unique way. There are many beautiful ways to experience the light. Trust the way it comes through for you and turn to it as often as possible. The way we lift the veil of darkness and remember the light is to rely on the power of the universe to restore our thoughts back to love. When we exchange our disbelief for faith, we remember the light. When we meditate, quiet our minds, and release resistance, we remember the light. When we choose compassion over attack, we remember the light. When we pray for forgiveness, we remember the light. When we choose to lift the veil of fear, all that's left is light. Bring the light with you wherever you go. When you begin to see past the fear-based world, you'll want to lean toward the light as often as possible. This will get easier and easier. You'll also feel called to bring that light with you wherever you go. You'll find purpose and contentment in being a beacon of light in your home, workplace, and community. You may even find that people are more drawn to you for support and guidance. It feels good to be around someone who's shining bright. In this new role, you may feel the desire to help those who are suffering. If so, and when you notice someone struggling, it will be necessary for you to resist the need to get hooked into their drama. Parts of you may still identify with their need, but if you meet their need with more need, you cannot be of service to them. The best way to support someone stuck in fear is to lean into love and be the light. You must meet them from a place of love and trust that your good feeling energy is enough. It's our soul's purpose to help others and bring light wherever we go, but we must consciously serve from a place of strength and alignment. Abraham Hicks say, you must be in alignment with their success as you offer assistance, and not in alignment with their problem. The best way to serve others is to feel excited and eager to guide them towards solutions rather than staying stuck in their problems. Your attention to their success aligns you with the fact that they too are super attractors. Your seeing them in this light helps them remember who they really are. Even if they're not ready to receive your guidance, your positive thoughts and energy are sufficient. Seeing someone in their wholeness is the greatest gift you can give them. Sometimes the best way to help someone out of their fear is not to do anything, but instead to visualize them surrounded by light. The light is where your true power lies. True power lies in your spiritual connection and your capacity to tune into the energy of love and the inner vision of light. True power is not some worldly credential, status, or achievement. Being a super attractor means that we must lay down the things we think give us power in this world. All of our outer power is actually a defense against the light. When you think with the thoughts of love and see through the lens of light, you will find a way through every block. You'll no longer be a match for negativity, attack, judgment, or pain. Living with true spiritual power means living in the light. I hope these messages have inspired you to begin to lift the veil of the fear-based world of suffering and embrace a world of faith and love. As we close this chapter, I want to remind you not to expect yourself to live in the light all the time. Even a fleeting moment of light is enough. As you add up the moments, they become your reality. Remember that this is a practice of undoing our dark perceptions and remembering our light and true power. It doesn't happen overnight, so it's important to celebrate the miracles along the way. Each shift in perception from dark to light brings you closer to truth. Let these shifts come naturally and stay committed to the light. In the next chapter, I'll help you get into further alignment with the light through the power of spiritual guidance. When you lean toward the light, you'll become aware of the universal energy that is always supporting you. The presence of spiritual guidance was available to you as a child, and it's time to reconnect to it. You'll be guided to lift the veil and return to the loving support of a guidance you once believed in. Open your heart and mind to be receptive and become willing to be supported.
All right, that was chapter 5. Maybe just a little bit of things that you can work on your own this weekend. I'll tell you, I always have really good intentions of meditating because I know how good it is for just your mind and your body, and I just haven't really been that consistent with it, and I don't ever really know what to do whenever I try. But on her website, GabbyBernstein.com/superattractor, she actually has guided meditations that, so they start and she guides you through like what to think about, what not to think about. And so I'm going to try to go through and do some of those this weekend. So there's a lot of good resources from the book on that website too for the book. So, all right, we will jump into some of our activities. Oh yeah, Jamie, I see what you just said in the chat. Yeah, she actually, so I heard of that from her other book, which we can totally read that. We could switch it up and do something different after this book, or we can jump into another one of Gabby's books. But I've actually read the universe has your back. And I think that mantra or meditation is in that first book, because I actually don't have the paper copy of that book. I listened to the audio version of it. And so I went through some of the meditations that she does in that other book, and it's really good too. So if you guys want to, we can always read her other book as a group as well. Okay. Let's go into our activities. So our stories are great because it just shows people how consistent we are with taking our products, our Thrive every morning. That's what people want to see. They want to see that consistency over time. So the stories are great for that. Let's hop into our stories and either, post one of our 3 steps of Thrive nutrition, all of our 3 steps, one of our 3 steps of Thrive skin, all of our 3 steps. If you haven't already done so, let's post that this morning, or if you already have, maybe something inspirational, motivating for people, family, just something different. Okay, always love when you guys ask questions, because that's how we learn together as a group. So the sparkly filter I've been using, okay, that's an Instagram thing. So you should be able to do it even if you have an Android. Those are like filters on Instagram. So let me show you how to get to it. Oh, I just opened up my messages on Instagram, and some girl said, hey, can you tell me more about your business? So those messages are fun. I don't know this girl at all. Her account is private. So I'm going to request to follow her. But that's totally where consistency pays off, just getting those messages. This is just probably some random girl that I don't know, but she's been watching our story. And I mean, that's something that always starts with you guys in the morning. Like, I'm always motivated when I'm on a group to start our stories and then stay consistent with them through the day. And that's where that consistency pays off. Just always being there when somebody wants to ask a question or decides that they're ready. Okay, let me show you the filter. I'll answer that after the Zoom. So if you're at your story, sorry, I was finishing up one other thing real quick. Okay, the filters are along the bottom here. The sparkly one is called Glitter on White. So actually you can get that. Let me see. Okay, you see if you're at your just regular story page, like you're going to take a picture on Instagram, go there. So just start on your home page and swipe to find what looks like the camera. And then as you can see, like if you move into these filters at the bottom, you should have a couple of preset filters there that just automatically come with the app. Like it'll say doodle sparkles at the bottom, golden glitter, mood sparkles. And just so you know, I just figured this out like a couple weeks ago. So sparkles. Okay, so it doesn't matter, whatever one you're on, where it says sparkles at the bottom, click that. And then it will say browse effects. So click browse effects. And you should be on the effect gallery. So in the effect gallery, that's where you can go at the top. And hold on one second. Okay, at the top you can type in, what was the name of it? White glitter? Hold on. Glitter on white. Okay. Browse effects. And then at the top in that search bar, glitter on white. So type that in. And you'll see there the glitter on white. I think I did the one with like the dancing man on the piece of paper or something there. So you click on the filter. You can see it there. And then try it at the bottom. And then you can try it. So I'll do a picture of us, the group. Let me know if that worked, Deja, or anybody else trying it. There's so many choices in those. In the filter part. Okay, let me get this one. This is a good page of the book. The one where she was going through the meditation for lifting the veil. This girl has other filters too. I'll show you another tip for those filters as well. I'm trying to get a boomerang here. Okay. Let me show you guys another tip too. Okay, you're at the browse filters, but don't see a search bar to put in what you want. It's not in the, I think mine was in the top right corner. The little magnifying glass, I almost said microphone, magnifying glass at the top. It would be weird if it wouldn't have the option for you. Let me see. Browse effects. Effect gallery. Did you make it to the effect gallery when you click browse filters? There's so many fun ones to play with in here. Okay, that's where you're at. And then in the top right, there's not the little magnifying glass to search. I'll show you another way that you can get to it as well. Okay, so if you go to my story, this is another way to get to it. Okay, go to my page and go to my story, click on my story like you're gonna watch it. And then that first one that you see, I use that glitter on white. Yeah, okay, Courtney, I just saw that you were walking her through what I'm about to do. Yeah, this is the same suggestion that Courtney had. So then you can click on the top where it says glitter on white for my filter, click that, and this should pull up. At the bottom, showing you the filter name, and then you can click try it. And then that will automatically, once you try it, it will automatically put that preset filter on the bottom when you're scrolling through the different filters you can use. So as long as you try it once, it's going to be there. Let me know if that worked just by clicking that glitter on white from my story and clicking try it. Okay, good. Yay, you got it. Okay, that's why we have each other, putting our heads together and figuring it out. Any other questions you guys have, like regarding stories or anything? I feel like they're always changing, and I'm like always Googling how to do this or that and trying to figure it out myself. Okay, let's just do another activity after our story. Let's just go in and try to find 5 new people to follow. So if you have to go, I understand, but I'm going to go ahead and do that myself just because I know I need to keep following new people, keep putting our opportunity and our products in front of new people. So I'm going to go down and just go to the search bar on Instagram and type in a hashtag. Anything you could think of. It maybe it's a hashtag with the book, like hashtag super attractor, and you find other people that are reading the book and maybe they're not part of another company. They look like a good potential, somebody that thinks like us, that might be interested in the product or the opportunity, just different things like that every day. Try to search a different hashtag and just follow new people. That's what it's all about, putting it in front of new people. So actually, I think the Cleaner app, I think the Instagram shut the Cleaner app down because they really hammered down on like apps that follow a bunch of people at one time or unfollow bunch of people at one time. So I know it's hard, but I've just been going through and unfollowing people manually. So if it's somebody that, I've commented on a couple times, haven't heard back from them, I'll just unfollow. I keep the really good potentials in my following, and then the ones that, just won't interact or are doing something else, I will just unfollow them. So yeah, the app was totally glitching. It's so weird because I used to use it all the time. Like it would just pop up the people that didn't follow me back, and it was really easy because it did it for you, and you could just run it and it would unfollow the people that don't follow you back. But it glitched and it's not working now. I think Instagram shut them down. So I've just been manually unfollowing people, which takes some time, but it's okay. It's worth it. All right, guys, I will go ahead and let you go for today. If you get a few minutes today throughout the day, just stop and post your story, and then you can always search to try to follow more people, get your name out there, get your face out there, and expose more people to our products and our business. So, all right, I will let you guys go. Have an awesome rest of your Thursday. I already set an alarm, so I will play this again at 8 o'clock tonight. And then have a good weekend, and we will continue the book next Tuesday. Same place, same time. And I'll see you then. So have a good Thursday. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for hopping on with me, guys. Bye.